Alright, and we are back. Well, we're almost back. Don't have our mouse connected, but here it is. Alright, and let's go into funworld. Not funworld is quite neglected lately. Haven't been using it. You wouldn't know. Well, you would know if you check the timing, obviously. But you wouldn't know what's going on in there because I'm not streaming on that. I'm not streaming on the seat. I'm making videos. I'm really out of the habit. I mean, I was so good before making videos, and now it's all this. Really terrible. Alright, but yeah, so I haven't made a video in over a month. In terms of the setup, my microphone broke, although that's unrelated to not having made any videos. But I got a new one, I think it should be okay. It looks alright from the levels and everything. And I was thinking today I could talk about a bit loud in my ear. What's that? I could talk about seeing the Barbie movie, you know, that's current events. In Japan actually where I am now. We were in Europe for a while. The Barbie movie isn't out yet. It's coming out, I think, next week. But because we were in Europe, we were able to see it in Ireland. It was nice. Should really do something with this, but swimming is so hard, isn't it? Completely forgot what I did last time. And yeah, so we had the opportunity to go, and so we did do that. To be honest, I don't know. I guess, I mean, I probably would have seen it, but really, Sarah is the one who wanted to see it. She's obviously into fashion and, like, you know, likes pink and everything, and so the movie was right up her alley. And we got all dressed up. There are more than me. Although I did wear some pink, and I looked quite fetching, if I may say so myself. Which I'll just do it. Who's gonna stop me, right? I'm like getting my bearings in the game again. But yeah, so just before we were in Ireland, we were in England, and I got myself a second-hand leather jacket, which looked very good. And you know, I had this pink like dress shirt under it. It was a good outfit. I'm quite the fashionista myself. Music, still nice. This is new. I feel like I haven't heard this in a while. I haven't heard this before. Like more, I don't know, uplifting. Da, 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 da. That's not what it's doing. You know that episode where Homer and Lisa hear the hear that music box, the old Egyptian music box, and then Homer sings some jingle from a... Oh, what's going on there? Oh, okay. Some jingle from a advertisement, and he said like, that's not the song. It's like, yeah, but it's a good song. And then they sing it together. Good times. Didn't have like a hole here somewhere. Have I fixed it yet, or did I just want to fix it? I remember. I remember there was a... Because remember I went to the I went into a cave and I was like kind of having trouble, almost drowned. Did this like revert to an earlier stage? What's going on? Am I going in the wrong direction? Am I an idiot? Am I a fool? Either way. So yeah, one thing, I mean, nothing to do with the Barbie movie, I think, but it was a bit of a culture shock going into a cinema in Ireland. Like, people are much louder, like very, very rowdy. There's a lot more like loud eating. I mean, we went for a daytime showing of it, so it was, I don't know, it was like 1 p.m. or something like that. So there were a lot of children, probably more than there would have been otherwise. So maybe that's also why it was louder. I mean, generally, I was kind of interested whether it would have more children or more adults, um, and whether the movie itself was targeting more children and adults. I would say, like, having watched it now, it's more for adults. I would almost say, like, I'm sure children can get something out of it. I think it also has a PG-13 rating, but it's more. It's definitely a little more like thinking about the adults in the audience, I would say. What else? Yeah, well, even in Ireland, in like a smaller town, well, it's not that small of a town. Limerick, is actually kind of big for Ireland, I guess. But for Tokyo, it's small. It's a small little village. A lot of people did wear pink. I think like just people thought that was the appropriate thing to wear to a Barbie movie, and they were correct. So it was kind of cool to see everyone like coordinating by accident coordinating. Yeah, I enjoyed that. Um, okay, so maybe about the movie then. So overall, I enjoyed it. I thought this was actually a good movie. It had a lot of things going for it. When talking about it with people, I was really mostly focusing on this what I see as the bad. I mean, I guess it's always easier to like critique things you don't like that much. At least for me. So um I made a couple notes of things that I really liked about it. So one they had like a bunch of musical numbers and those were really good. They were like really well choreographed. They sounded nice. There was dancing. There's like one that's more Barbie focused, one that's more Ken focused, and yeah, I enjoyed all of them. That was really nice. I didn't know that was going to happen because I really didn't know anything about the movie beforehand. Nothing about the plot or anything. Went into it completely unspoiled. What is that? Is that a creeper? Yeah, it's a creeper. It looked so small from far away. Hello. Oh no. Eh. Did you see that? What the fuck was that? It's like, okay, I'm gonna explode. All right then. All right then, Mr. Creeper, sir. Hmm. Oh no. It's all going worse than expected. Where is that? Where's my cave entrance? Am I what's going on? What the fuck? I'm so confused. Anyways, what else did I like? I mean the story is good overall, but oh yeah, Barbie was really great. Margot Robbie is I think really oh kind of weird. It's like really slow. Is it? Usually the video doesn't have this problem. I don't understand what's going on. Seems a little bit better now. I'll have to look at the finished product in the end, but just looking at it, it looks like something with the recording is going wrong. Either way, so yeah, Margot Robbie was really good. Barbie, I thought, and kind of the stealer of the show, I think, in most people's estimation, is Ryan Gosling as Ken, because he was really fun. He was really good. He really like, there it is. I found it. The entrance. He really committed to the character. He really, like, had most of the really funny lines. It was just really good. Michael Cera, I thought, was also pretty good. Just a side character. I mean, I'll probably like spoil some things. I don't know what I'm gonna spoil, but if you want to go in like completely unspoiled, probably like should skip it. But you know, spoilers, whatever, right? Whatever, man. Spoilers. Okay, so yeah, the plot I thought was pretty interesting. It had like a feminist message for sure. It was all kind of like, the premise is that there's Barbie world where like the Barbies live in a Barbie utopia, and they are like representations of Barbie in the real world, and they know about Barbie in the real world, and they think like that um that Barbie having all these different jobs or whatever is like was this great thing for women, and they liberated women, and now everything is great in the real world too for women because of Barbie, and everyone loves them and is thankful for it. That's kind of like one of the plot points, and that's like juxtaposed with like actual like more the real problems that we still have with misogyny and with like inequality of the genders and things like that. Um, so yeah, basically like for some reason, Barbie has to go to the real world. Like the plot is basically that um, she kind of gets depressed in the Barbie world, and the point is that like the person that's playing with her representation, her as the representation, uh, that person's feeling are seeping into the Barbie world or something like that. And there's a lot of like funny things, and it creates like this world where Barbies are the center of everything, and Kens are kind of only live to be noticed by Barbie. No, they want to like in Mad Max. They're basically like those what are those boys called? I forget, but uh those white chalky boys who are always like, "Witness me." Yeah, they want to be witnessed against by Barbie, and then they jump into Mad Max's car and try to explode themselves. They can't in this case. It's a bit of a crossover. It's weird. I don't understand how they got all that Mad Max IP. Did I just fantasize about that? What's going on? No one knows. But yeah. So anyway, so that's kind of like the world that they inhabit. And so yeah, so it does juxtapose this. It's kind of like as okay, so this is like now the heavy spoiler. So after they go to the world, right, Ken like sort of on purpose. Yeah, well, it is on purpose, right? He brings back patriarchy to Barbie world, and because the Barbies have no natural defenses to it, they like kind of get co-opted, and Ken's basically take over Barbie world and make it like a bit of a nightmare in a lot of ways. And then the Barbies have to work together with the one that left for the real world, especially to restore it. And it's like all kind of like whimsical, but obviously tries to make a point. And I think that's what I kind of like. That's what I liked. I'm just jumping around. I hope you don't mind. Don't no Minecrafting today, I would say. Um, ooh, spiders. Spiders. I hardly know hers. Um, yeah. So the plot already, it has like a good message. You can take away. Is there also a thing that I thought was like kind of cool? And I guess it depends how you take it. But like in the real world, is this one guy who works for Mattel, and he's like clearly like very low on the hierarchy, and like they kind of like make this joke. It's like, uh, you men have all the power, and women don't. Which this, um, in in a in a it's sort of true if you're like thinking about it, but like it's obviously like a simplistic reading of it. And so like the guy is like, wait a second, I have no, it's not wait a second. He's like, I have no power. Does that make me a woman? And I was basically like, this is interesting. This is like solidarity. You could work on that. I mean, obviously you can also take it like negatively, but I I thought it was like a pretty fun joke. I should get a drink. So I'll just leave you here for a millisecond. Oh no, it was longer than a millisecond. Oh no. Oh, in the month that I didn't upload, I totally forgot that you speak a lot when you make videos, and so didn't bring a water. But yeah, so I thought there was like kind of a lot of cool things in there. And now the things that I didn't like at all. I think, well, I didn't make a video about Across the Spider-Verse, did I? Maybe I should do that. But like, it's the same thing that like a lot of Hollywood now has. And basically, and there's a bunch of things that come together. So one is like this incredible sentimentality, which is like really cheap, like you when there's like parents and children together, and there's like the child is like willful initially, but then it's like, but it's just because I love you so much and know so much about how good you are, dad, or whatever, and it's like, oh, it's just so brutal, like it's so lame. And then the other thing is like, actually, it seems like, I think it's mostly Americans, I don't know for sure, but like a lot of people really like that. And it's like, yeah, this is so heartwarming. And it's like, no, this is cheap bullshit. This has nothing, it makes no sense. And so that's the one thing. The sentimentality is like just so sickly sweet that's disgusting. And then the other thing about what I just said, where I thought the political message is really good, like it is a feminist message, and so I consider myself a feminist, so I'm pro that. The point that a lot of like Hollywood movies now have is that they cannot let that stand. They cannot have subtlety. They cannot have like what I was talking about earlier, where you're like, oh, you could interpret it this way or that way. They have to hit you over the head with it, with like a kind of like simplistic, inane take. And so that happens in the Barbie. Like, I'm not even exaggerating. Basically, like, so 2/3 through the movie, there's like this character, and she just like basically turns to the camera and is like, let me give you this short like Twitter thread like lecture on feminism, how hard it is for women, and this, and it just looks in the camera and you're like, why am I been taken out of this movie? Why are you suddenly like teaching me feminism 101 or whatever? This is really, really, really lame. Really, no, don't do it. Like you had a good thing going and you're kind of ruining it with this. And yeah, a lot of like I feel Hollywood movies now do that, where they're just like they can't accept any subtlety, any ambiguity, and they just have to be incredibly straightforward. And then the thing is, right, like it's always the most simplistic stuff, right? Like they don't go like to step 2 where they're like, what are actual solutions, what is the actual problem or whatever. It's more like, these are the things that we in the liberal media have decided are now the main thing we talk about. We talk about this all the time and nothing else, and that's going to be said. And like you have to be moved by this, and it's like, no, like we should just use our brains a bit more. So that annoyed me. Let me see. Yeah, I think those basically the two things that annoyed me, and I know I sound like a lot more passionate about what annoyed me because annoyance is just like very moving. But I did like the movie a lot, and you should watch it. And I will probably actually watch it again in Japan because just it's fun. When you go to the movies, make a little bit of a event out of it, and dressing up and things like that are pretty cool. And then one more thing I should maybe say is you've probably heard about that marketing stuff or the memeing around Barbenheimer, where like the Barbie movie and the Christopher Nolan Oppenheimer film open at the same time, and there was like a lot of like memes that were made. And in Japan recently, the official Barbie account like retweeted one where it was like the atomic bomb and Barbie and I think Oppenheimer in a meme, and a lot of people online in Japan took that pretty hard. Well, not hard, but like they thought it was really distasteful and really inappropriate. And I would also say it is, right? Like that's the thing, and it's generally a bit of a problem that Americans just really cannot uh, see anything problematic with like the atomic bombing of like civilians, like 100,000 civilians, and like just making like light of it and little oh, this is just our marketing for a fun little Barbie movie, ha ha ha. It's really inappropriate and unseemly, and so I do think that a lot of these Japanese Twitter users have a point. And then often I feel like that's another thing with like this kind of performative liberalness and wokeness and feminism is like a lot of the people who do partake in that are like people who ostensibly like care about certain issues and like progressive issues, and like this kind of massive murder of so many people, among them a lot of women too, just if you want to be feminist, probably shouldn't be made light of in this way. I think unrelated to this, I'm not 100% sure. It's not clear whether Oppenheimer is going to be shown here at all. I think like it's kind of different. Like I think Christopher Nolan is not like necessarily cheapening it. He's making a movie that's more about well, the man itself, the historical aspects, and probably actually, as far as I heard, like maybe even quite critical in some ways. I don't know. I would have to watch it. The thing is, I probably wasn't going to watch it. If it is going to show now, I might watch it, just because of all the controversy, and I would be interested what to do. But generally, I don't really care for Christopher Nolan's historical stuff. I like his sci-fi, so it's just. I mean, it's actually like I don't even know why. I'm just like, yeah, I don't really care. I don't want to watch it. But yeah, so if it comes, I might actually, and maybe I'll do a little review. I think that's about it for today. I didn't do anything in my Minecraft, but it's good to get back in. We're like at 24 minutes now. That's good. I think I talked a fair amount. I made mostly sense. I took notes. It's good. I have a couple more topics I can talk about. Like I've been reading a lot of books. I've been actually traveling. So I hope this is the start of. Oh, did you see that? Maybe I should eat something. I hope this is the start of getting back into more regular videos. I don't know if I'm going to. Did this do anything? Why doesn't it do anything? Something is wrong with. I hope with my computer. Maybe I'll have to restart or whatever. Like it's kind of very slow, isn't it? And I hope the video is not too bad. But yeah, so I hope the start of like more regular uploading. I don't know if it's gonna be daily, but more often for sure. And yeah, let me know if the sound and everything was alright. What you thought about the Barbie movie, if you saw it, if you want to see it. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Stay spooky, my friends.